I'm Chase.
And I'm Timothy.
And this is Customer Service. Good morning, Vietnam.
I like the idea of people seeing you physically, potentially seeing you for the first time doing it, and then you looking at everybody else while... I can feel, I mean, we'll get into it in a minute, but I could immediately feel you going into your shell now that there's more people in the room than just us.
Yeah, you know, who knows? We'll try it out.
So we're doing a special episode or a version of the episode today because I'm going to be out of town or traveling the day when this would normally get done. So we're doing it sooner, and because of rescheduling and stuff, we didn't have a guest, so I felt like we needed guests, so I wrangled some up.
Yep.
So we'll bring them in just a second, but is there anything going on that you feel like you need to address before we get into the mix?
I don't have anything in particular to address, no.
Yeah? No, I mean, since the last pod, nothing.
Yesterday.
I mean, what could have happened? Because we're doing it early.
No, nothing has happened. We're still very deep in the dynasty draft. It's slowly chugging along. Me and Abby have been whispering updates to each other so that you don't hear and aren't like, all right, no more dynasty talk.
I gave you a 10-minute per day allocation to talk about.
We use it up in 15, 20 second intervals.
Quickly. It's too quickly.
15, 20 second intervals. So we've still got a long way to go. And they stack, I hear. So we've got...
No, hold on. Who did you hear that from? Considering I made the rule and I did not add that aspect to it.
That's funny, dude.
Okay, so you've addressed the dynasty draft to everyone in every place that I know.
I just need everybody to know. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
What do you think your chances are of doing well? Better
than last year. I would say I'm solidly planning to be in the middle of the pack.
Okay.
I have a in my opinion, I have a fairly strong team. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Stronger than last year. I certainly have a better understanding of the lay of the land in the league. So we'll see. But I'm having a lot of fun with it.
If you win, what do you win?
For Dynasty, we're doing cash. So it's $350 for the first place, $250 for second, and $100 for third.
Okay, so these aren't life-changing numbers, but
no.
It's still fun.
No, and honestly...
How much did you have to put in?
$50 per season. You pay for 2 seasons up front because technically your draft now will affect the second season as well.
Do you win money each season?
Yeah, every season there's a winner.
So it's actually $300, $200.
Exactly, yeah. If you take out your investment. Yeah.
Well, look, there's worse. I mean, I guess you could high probability that you lose it all too.
Yeah, but at that point, it's just fun. I've already gotten $50 worth of enjoyment out of it, just from the amount of sheer like obsessiveness that it allows for me to fully let come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. Is this just what you use to fill the gardening space?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go home. We cooked last night and we have leftovers, so we'll go fuck around in the garden, eat a dilly bar, and then I will obsess with the guys and be like, and then we tag each other and like, it's your turn to pick, and so we're going. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying it though, and as I expected, now that Abby's in there and understands exactly what's happening, she's kind of all in as well. We know Abby's good at games, so I think she's going to do well.
She loves a game.
Yeah.
Loves a game. Okay, so let's bring in the guests here. Chris has been on the pod. Has everyone been on the pod before?
Yeah.
Now? Okay, so Chris has been on. So it's Chris Ta. He manages the store, does all of our events, anything that's like physical here in Boulder. He's our boy.
Yeah.
Alec does everything marketing. He's been in YouTube. They've both been in YouTube videos. You've probably seen these. These are familiar faces, familiar voices. Am I right at this point?
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah, okay. So guys, do you guys want to introduce yourselves, or is that good enough?
I think that's perfect. It does the job. I do the marketing.
Yeah. Okay, so what's been going on in your lives lately? Anything to report on?
What's going on? My parents were in town the other weekend.
Yep.
So, Mom, if you're watching this, hello.
Alex's mom does watch. I think all moms technically watch.
She's up on the pod.
Or listen, I mean.
Yeah. No, she's very up on the pod.
She listens to every single episode.
So she was giving your dad a hard time about not listening to it. I love.
She was asking me, she's like, oh, did you hear about this and that? And then I was like, no.
Oh, you didn't.
And then she was like, oh, well, I heard about it on the pod, so you should know about it.
Oh my God.
Okay, you're right.
Alec, I love your parents. They are so cool and so nice and friendly, and it was fun when we got to kick it with them.
They're great parents.
But I love
Very
when they're
loving.
in town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a blessing. Took us out to dinner a couple times.
Yep.
Just shopped around. We went to 316 in town. That was delicious.
Wait, Alec, were you
underrated?
Alec was not part of the team for the 316 dinner. You were here, right, Chris?
No, not 316.
Chris wasn't here for 316 dinner, and that means Alec definitely
No, that was
wasn't here.
before my time.
Oh,
yeah.
man. We don't need to air it out on the pod, but that was a wild night. We got out of control that night.
It's
a surprise that
it's
we...
It's not a surprise, if that's what you're going to say, because every time we go out, everyone gets too loud, starts making too many
drunk,
jokes and playing around too much. We shouldn't even be allowed to do
We're
it.
a rowdy bunch, and that's why it's nice when we have our team dinners or whatever over at Bob and Page's or here, more or less. Because restaurants, I think we get a little too buck wild in.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fair. I'm looking something up on my phone that would be for something fun to do in a minute. So that's why I'm not just emailing, which I do on the pod a lot, though.
Hey, all
good.
You mind pulling your dogs up and show everybody what you copped? Remember you copped these on the pod last time.
Oh yeah, well this is more of an Aaron Levine special. But I've been saying can't get him in there. I've been saying I've wanted to do thong sandals for a while. Mm-hmm. I have, because I'm a big sandal guy.
Yeah, you made that statement.
I have said for like a while now that I think it could be cool again. He's been posting pictures of those boys, which is great. So we're getting the exposure.
He wore them when
out.
we met him, when he came in.
Was he wearing them then?
He had like a purple tank top, a black overalls with like a thin spaghetti strap kind of thing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
and then
he's the
Birkenstock thong sandals. Cool.
He's the king of cool.
Yeah.
No question. But I'm trying to get in preparation for. I really want those Aura Lee ones that we saw for Spring 25. The like really like spindly leather ones.
Yeah.
Because those look like the row. Yeah. And I've always said like I wanted to do this look because I like a flowy pant with a thong sandal like the row, but they don't really do that on the boys' side too often. But I've never let that stop me before with trends. So
you think you could fit a women's size row sandal? You should.
I don't know. I like that there's like a little wider on the outside. You know what I mean? So it's like where your foot is, it's like wider than that, which I think is very cool.
Oh, nice wide platform.
I don't know if I can or can't.
balance.
It doesn't matter to me.
What are
My
you, size 10, 10 and a half? Or 11?
10 and a half.
He's a 10 and a half.
10 and a half or 11. That's the struggle.
That's going to be a women's like 12, 13.
I mean, they make boys. I've looked at the Sabo Mule forever. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but that's like as beautiful as a Birkenstock can possibly be in my mind. I would love to have that.
Is it
They're
row?
also, they're like $1,400.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm ready to make a commitment like that, but I feel like I need to soft launch it first and make sure I'm like down. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to really get to work. But I feel like in the sandal, it's the only thing. I mean, I'm wearing Birkenstocks through the fall. I'll just close. I just close the toe.
Even if there's snow. I've even started to do this ever since you started talking about it. I'm kind of done with the dressing for weather type thing because even here in the summer, AC's been bumping. You said today it felt like a tropical rainforest with how humid it was and shit.
Yeah.
It's a little humid in here. But that being said, it's nice and cool. I have to come to work in a hoodie. I can't dress for how hot it is outside. And I feel the same in the winter. I'm going from my front door down a little tiny thing that I shovel into my Honda Civic that I have remote start in, and then I'm parking in a parking lot and walking in the door. I'm not outside fucking around, so it is a year-round thing. I'm assuming you're going to travel in those Birks, Brondo.
Of course, man. I got to break them in more.
Yeah.
They can't not have the foot stuck into the bed of them. You know what I mean? Otherwise
No, I got you. Yeah. Okay, so real quick, back to 316, and then I got some questions for you. Did you get the tableside Caesar?
No. We got the...
Are you guys Caesar guys, though? Will you do like a proper, like with
God, I love a Caesar.
I need to reconcile with dairy-based dressings. I feel like it always makes me feel weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I can't run around.
And this has the fish.
Can't run around.
I can't run around.
Also, can you do, with the nut allergy, can you do pistachios?
I can't, yeah. So I'm allergic to nuts. I cannot.
Is pistachio in Caesar?
I did not know that was a thing.
I think
no, it's anchovies, bro.
No, it's anchovies, but I'm pretty sure it's...
Maybe some places will do it, but
maybe,
bro.
When I was growing up, the peanut allergy was a cop out. If there's anything I didn't want to eat, I would just say, "Oh, I'm allergic."
Hey, man, can't do it.
Get away with it. Yeah.
I knew a kid that it was so bad that he would either have to get driven separately on school field trips, or there'd have to be a school-wide announcement that nobody can bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the school bus.
Yeah.
And he was the type of peanut butter where like he would die. You know what I'm saying? like if you ate a peanut butter sandwich next to him, he would pass away. So it was a big deal. But anyway, I'm sure that he also kind of leaned into it at times.
I see elementary schools nowadays, and they have the peanut-free tables.
Really?
And I would not want to sit there. You know.
Yeah. Chris, you got any allergies?
You're marked.
No, just medical allergy to penicillin. But other than that, well, actually, funny that you brought that up. I know you guys have experienced it the past couple weeks. I'm definitely allergic to something, But
Oh my God! Yeah, I forgot.
yeah, I'm like, my face has been swelling up in the mornings. My lips have been swelling up.
We have a hypothesis, though, don't we?
No, because it's still been happening, and
it's not.
and I haven't had mango lassi in a minute.
Okay, yeah. So for our listeners, Chris was coming in, and
Let's also start this with that Chris is king of Costco.
King of Costco, and so he bought a ton of mango lassi.
Like probably like 3 gallons.
If Chris starts to eat something,
Let's
it's gonna
call it.
be
He's got it.
there's gonna be a quantity that's surprising for a short amount of time until it's gone.
So he had large volume of this lassi, and you came in looking like a beast on your lips, kind of.
Yeah.
Like you were
Yeah.
like really like swollen.
Like
you know
face
what I
is
mean?
swollen,
Yeah.
lips are swollen. Like, I definitely need to pop a Benadryl.
But it's still happening.
Yeah, it happened really bad the other day, and I'm trying to narrow it down.
It
but
can't be food based, dude.
No, I think it is food based, and I think it's my body when it's consuming too much of something
Rejecting it.
and rejecting it. Because first it was too much of the mango lassi, but then now that I'm not having it, that hasn't happened anymore. But this might sadden me and the group of people I always go with. But I might be having too much sachi sushi.
He's getting
Dude,
mercury poisoning.
I think I might be eating too much raw fish.
Well, here's the thing, bro. You are going every other day.
Yeah.
In fact, we went in the last couple weeks. You met the group that I was with there for lunch, and then you were coming back later that afternoon.
For dinner, yeah.
And you did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What's a type of food that you feel like you could do every
there's
day?
no limit.
Like you have to just do.
I know my answer right off the bat.
Okay.
Dean in Discord gave me his pork, and we do chicken with chicken thigh adobo.
Mm-hmm.
I could reasonably eat that every single day for at least one of the meals, and I would never tire of it. It's just salty chicken and rice, and like what's not to love.
What do you mean salty chicken?
I'm saying that it's an adobo sauce, but it's like at its core, it's just a salty chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Are we saying one type of food or one genre of food?
You can do this however you want it. Like I have mine. I would want, and this is how loose it can be. I would just want to do soup and salad from Whole Foods every single day. I can do that every single day. There's different.
That wouldn't
varieties,
mess up your bowel
but there's
movement?
only 3. Do you know what I mean?
You could broaden it out and just say hot bar at Whole Foods.
Not hot bar. I think that's too broad because that's so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good choice. If
I
you're
mean,
trying
bro,
to trick
yeah.
the system.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that like I will only go and have the salad that I get or one of the 3 soups because there's not a soup I don't like.
Have you ever had the pork green chili? Like it's not like green chili sauce. It's like a pork green chili stew. Have you had that?
Oh yeah. I feel like there's nothing soup wise they make that I haven't had before.
Yeah. Damn.
So I could just do that. I could just do soup and salad every single
Yeah.
day. I have done it when Abby goes out of town.
Yeah.
Like a big water salad soup.
I played this with somebody the other day, but I realized if I took a genre, it would just be like I could do Vietnamese food because number one, my body's used to it, growing up with it, but also
Number one.
obviously. But if you really think about it, it goes into so many depths. You got Vietnamese papaya salad, that's some fruit. You got the chicken salad. You got protein, herbs. You got pho, which is a soup. You got Chase's favorite thing, bún bò Huế. Like
I like bún bò Huế, but
Yeah.
I'm more of a pho guy.
yeah,
to be honest.
but like I'm just saying, like if I just chose Vietnamese, you have so much depth.
those new age, what's it called?
Egg rolls.
Egg rolls.
Yeah.
But it has
With the
basically
rice
just like-
paper.
but it's just like the whole thing is sausage on the inside, more or less, like pork.
Oh
ground
yeah.
pork or something. Vietnamese egg roll. Yeah.
But no, because the new age egg roll is rice paper and then inside pork carrots, vermicelli noodles, whatever
gas love.
carrots. But that's why the new age is like there's the egg flour, which is what you get at most restaurants for egg rolls, and then the rice paper is what makes it like that, like translucent color.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
And then it's like extra crispy. But anyways, back to it. Like I could eat Vietnamese food forever and ever, and I know I won't hit an allergy. Like I'm convinced I gained that college weight, and all the weight that I've gained since then is because I'm not on that diet anymore.
Hey, let's fucking let's switch it
get
up,
some
bro. Let's
pho.
go full Vietnamese for a couple weeks.
But back to the allergy thing, I think it's just from my habit of once I get into something, full throttle, 110% until the point I'm tired, or at this point,
To be fair,
I'm allergic to it.
Yeah, you do that with clothes.
I do it every
Hickory stripe, black watch, EG vests.
Clayton jacket. Caudle.
Caudle's another one. The hat you're wearing, James Dean.
James Dean, yeah, I've got them all.
Yep.
Yeah.
JMMs, we could go on.
Yeah.
It would have to be frozen pot stickers for me. It was something that I grew up with. I would cook it every day. You get the little yellow bags from Safeway. It's my shit. I would eat it every single day.
What's the brand? Is there a panda on the front?
Yeah, there's a panda.
I know what you're talking about. Those are good.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, grew up with that.
Love.
There's this place in town called Cafe Mexicali. They do these smothered burritos. My roommates call it Cafe Sex because that's what it feels like.
Hey, this is PG here, Al.
What do you mean? Like people are there to hook up?
No,
I'm saying it's so
just
good.
the food is so good.
It's so good that it's
The food is orgasmic.
I was like, I've passed that place. That doesn't seem like a place where you'd meet hot singles. Also, the idea of going to a place and be like, I'm gonna get a smothered burrito and meet a girl feels crazy.
Oh, something light.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that place, they do this sweet pork stuff. It's really good.
Creepy habanero?
Yeah.
Or do you do the red sauce?
I do a mix of the red sauce and the white sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody
That's a good
local
choice.
knows that place bangs. And also,
Yeah.
shout out their breakfast burritos. That's another tinfoil wrapped, good handheld, really good.
What was that, like $7, right? For like
Yeah,
a
it's not
burrito
expensive,
baby.
but
yeah.
it's big. And what another thing that Alec forgot to mention, which I'm sure he was going to get to, is Cafe Mexicali does provide you with at least 3 full servings of food for the price of one. Like it's way too much for me to consume in one sitting, and I fancy myself a real eater.
He says it, and then he's not, though.
You get a little bit of
No,
you get a little bit of the cannabis in my system. There's no limit.
Yeah.
It's at least 2 meals for sure.
Yeah.
You didn't we were having a barbecue, and you didn't finish a cheeseburger.
I didn't smoke any weed.
Oh, okay.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
I'm just
fair.
being
Yeah.
honest. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I finished it. It just took a little bit. I was also invested in the cornhole.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Oh
we can't
my
get back
God.
into
We
that.
don't get into talk.
Yeah.
Was there more to the 316 thing? I know we got onto it.
Oh, well, I
Sorry,
was
that's
wondering
my-
about the tableside Caesar, but I want to know what else you got.
We got the mussels and fries.
Oh,
which was-
dude. Delicious, right?
Comes with this, or they do the tableside bread like a lot of other joints. And you dip it in that sauce.
Yeah, dog. I know
It's something for sure.
I love
I don't
that.
even need to. They don't even need to bring the mussels, to be honest. Like you
Yeah.
can just bring the bread and the stuff.
Bring,
And the
bring me
broth
the
and
sauce,
shit.
the
Yeah.
And I
broth
like the
and the
mussels
bread.
too, but
Yeah.
I'm there for that. That's
Yeah,
what
I'm with
everyone's
you.
there for.
I'm with you.
I don't need to fill up on mussels. I want to
No.
fill up on bread.
Oh, the little sound thing just fell.
What is it?
The little
in the
sound thing just
video.
fell behind you. Yeah.
This thing, you can see it. It's supposed to be up there with these little guys. It's fallen off. Technically, there's one up there that drives me nuts. That's like
We're gonna
half
do
down.
we
have to redo the room. We have to redo the room so it
redesign of
doesn't
this, yeah.
look quite so like we lovingly call it like a hostage area.
It's a spruced up hostage.
I feel like we're in a room that you guys just learned how to play Minecraft.
We're just setting up our gaming setups. I can only imagine.
Oh, that's my dream. If we could have
You
a
know,
LAN
eventually
setup
we
in here,
just it
boys.
just turns into that. We're just doing. We talk about jeans while playing
Yeah,
Minecraft.
yeah. You know what, Al? Maybe Brondo would let us do a LAN
Do a LAN
setup in
party.
here one
Yep.
of these Saturday
Uh-huh.
nights, and we just do a marathon. We play Counter Strike. We play Valorant.
We can play all night.
I don't
all
care.
night long.
That would be so fun. Okay, let's workshop
Okay.
that.
Well, I'm moving soon, so I got to pack up my PC.
Yep.
Maybe I just bring it here for a weekend.
Yeah. Hey, about moving, you locked in a new spot or anything?
Not yet. So our lease ends in August. We are up on the wire. We're looking, but no luck as of yet. We might do Lafayette.
I was gonna
And
say
I'm
I heard you
scared.
say Lafayette, and I know this is hyper local for our listeners, but you know you're listening. Lafayette's cool. I think it's a cute little town.
Yeah.
Kind of out by me.
I need to come to peace with the commute because my commute's
It's
like
not that
5
bad,
minutes
man.
right now. I would switch to 7 or something like that, or 17.
It'd be 17.
It's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It's a little bit longer.
Yeah. But it's fine.
it's
not
not
that
a big
bad,
deal.
dude. I do
Yeah.
20, 25, 30, 32-ish.
I knew some teachers growing up that I'm from the Bay Area, so people would drive like 2 hours to get into work every day.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Front and back.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I had my English teacher in 10th grade, her husband worked on like the west side of Cleveland, and his commute was like an hour and a half, hour and 45. He did that 5 days a week for like 30 some years.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, that's days of your life spent in this fucking, Lincoln Navigator or something. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't think I
Crazy.
can give it up that I'm like it's under a minute away.
Yeah.
When you guys talk about, because you've talked about moving maybe up towards Louisville, just an exit down the highway, or you guys have talked about this, that, and the other. But I am so envious that you don't ever really have to drive a car to come here unless you like. Obviously, I get it if it's snowy or raining, and that hill is legitimately very steep. So I wouldn't want to walk that in like.
Well, I usually walk home on 8th, which is, I mean, I know we're getting way too, but that one is like, it's like you have to like get on all fours at one point to go up it.
No, but no, your location is pretty much prime, man. I've always dreamed of being able to walk to work.
I got so used to it from living in Chicago, like, and commuting and stuff, that it just felt weird to not have it.
Yeah.
And then, so when I look for a place, I just was like, what's closest? Like, that's how we'd pick a place. Like, what's closest to work? And then, you know what I mean? And what can you make work? And then we just took that place, and I don't ever want to leave it if I don't have to, because I like how close we are.
Yeah.
I remember you guys used to walk more often.
It was easier before we had Gia, but now we have to like do a lot of going to get her and then going, you know what I mean?
They need to have the car to go pick her up in the middle of the day type.
Otherwise, Well, and then we started going to the gym in the morning, so you had to drive to do that and then come back. So.
And it's like scalding hot out right now too.
Yeah. I don't. It's really not bad, because when you leave in the morning, it's not that that bad. And then the walk home can be a pain in the ass. But
here, let me riddle you guys something. I woke up this last week.
Let me riddle you something.
I've kind of found my final form with the boys in the room here. I like this.
Initially, I could see you going like, oh no, he's gonna get quiet. Nope, jump right back.
Don't worry about it. I woke up this weekend to golf with Coop. I woke up at 4:45, and for some reason that was infinitely easier than me waking up at 8:25 to come to work. And I don't.
But I think that's because we've talked about this. I think that's because you're doing it too close to when you need to leave. I know it's enough time to do everything that you need to get done and then get in the car and go, But like, I think you have to get up early enough to where you're like, I've got a window of time I got time to kill before I need to like get in the car and go to work.
I would love to sit on the couch for a half an hour, drink a little coffee, and maybe read some of a book.
That's what I depending on our schedule changes a lot because of Gia's schedule changes a lot.
Well, you're in summer right now, especially too. Yeah.
But like normally, like it's like you get up, drop her off, go to the gym, come back. I'll like hang out and watch 10 minutes, 15 minutes of a movie at a time, and then leave. So it's like I feel like there's never like there's always plenty of time.
Yeah.
So I don't like have to worry about like if I don't get this by this time. Because you're up early enough. But I feel like you have to. I mean, even to come in at 10, you still have to be like 6:37 to make that work, right?
Yeah.
So. Told you it's 1 week where it's a pain in the ass and then you don't notice it anymore.
I feel you. I just gotta suffer through it. Also, speaking of reading a book, this is gonna go off of the last episode where we decided we're gonna start doing recommendations, things you can't live without, something you happened upon that you're interested in right now.
All right, let's just do it next.
So let's just go around the room. I have something. I'm happy to lead us off.
We'll go first, and you guys. So it's just anything at all.
Book
lifestyle change, something you copped, something you watched, read, whatever the hell, anything you want.
A menu item in a restaurant. I don't give a fuck. Okay. Me and Al, I showed Al a clip of this fella named Richard Turner. He's a blind card magician, black belt. Really, I'm just so interested in this dude. I don't know what it is. And I went through a short period in college where I wanted to learn how to do card tricks. And then my college girlfriend and her family at the time like made fun of me so much that I stopped doing card tricks. But like I wanted to get into card tricks.
It's like I both don't like that they did that. You know what I mean?
You also
we've always said that you've got little brother status in my mind of like I get to fuck with you, but if anyone else did, it would bother me.
Yeah, spit at
so
the
it's
shoes.
A little bit of that, but there's also like it's just if you came in here and was doing card tricks, it would be physically impossible for me to not make jokes about it.
So, but anyway, the point being is, without getting too far into it, there's a documentary that I would like to recommend everybody watch. It's called Dealt, D-E-A-L-T. I think it's on Hulu. It's about this fella. He can manipulate a poker game and deal the cards to the people he wants to do. He's completely blind. It is so mind-blowing to me, and I've been like kind of like just really spinning on this dude. I listened to a podcast that he was a guest on today. There's another series on HBO about people who have found ways to cheat gambling, count cards and cheat roulette, whatever, what have you. That is like a weird niche that has really piqued my interest lately. So I would recommend you watch that documentary. It's a rabbit hole I've been going down. Dealt, about Richard Turner. So, Brondo.
Yeah, I was trying to look it up really good. I really like this record that this guy put out. I don't know him from anything. I've been kind of into like ambient music and shit, and this is kind of ambient, but it's not the like just random sounds, kind of soundscape shit. It's a little more directed. I would almost say it's more like like
not explosions in the sky. Or?
No. This is more like almost like movie soundtrack, for lack of a better way of describing it. It's more interesting than that. But Ezra Feinberg, the record's called Soft Power. The whole thing is like front to back. I think is excellent. It's got this wide range of what's happening in it.
Cool.
Feels like a lot like I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he wrote the really famous Japanese recording artist that wrote Green. I can't remember what his name is, but people that know ambient music would know it. It's got some of that element. It's very like analog, like approach to composing. It's really good. I really like that record.
Question for you on how you consume, because I know you have a myriad of ways of how you listen to music very intentionally. If you're listening to, say, this ambient track, are you just doing that, sitting in the sun, or are you doing it while you're doing the dishes or something? Like,
depends on what I'm doing. I mean, with music, no, I listen to, because I like podcasts. I listen to podcasts. I listen to like nerdy comedy podcasts that I've listened to for ages, and that's pretty much all I listen to podcast wise anymore. Because I can't do any more murder ones, man. I just hit a wall.
There's a couple good ones I've been listening to lately, but I would agree with you
I'm
mostly.
Just bored with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've heard all the stories, so
yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of repetition, and some of it feels kind of now, and all the scary stuff is bad. They used to be good now, so I need something.
Radio Rental, Payne Lindsay, bro, you mailed that shit in. You should fucking cut that as soon as possible.
That being said, the early stuff we still really
early stuff, season 1 2 is great, but the rest of it sucks.
So I just do that. So if I'm like doing chores, that's what I'm doing, listening to like podcasts.
Yeah.
But if it's music, it's very intentional.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's just the way I've always done it. So like I either lay in the bed or on the couch and just do nothing. Just close my eyes or stare at the ceiling and listen to music. And then sometimes I like to look things up about the artist. If I really like something or I start to like something, the first thing I do is if I like have a song that like I spin out on, I'm like, oh, I love this, I've listened to it a couple times, I immediately try to look up live versions of it, because seeing someone do it, like, that makes me more connected to it, knowing what they look like, knowing what their vibe is, how they dress, what the whole thing is, and I like live music a lot, so I usually try to do that, and then that further connects me to it, and then I will listen to more stuff. You know what I mean? But I feel like normally when I find new things, it's because I'm listening to like live performances of bands or something. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that one or whatever. And then otherwise, I sit outside a lot and listen to music. Yeah. Sometimes Gio like plays on the deck, and I just sit there and listen to music.
That's a cozy little bungalow you guys got. Nice little nook.
So it's a pretty like I listen to music when I take a bath.
Oh, nice.
Things like that. Just anything where I'm sitting still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you bathe in the bathtub rather than a shower?
This is a bigger question. If my bathtub was working the way it should be working, for some reason it's like not getting hot enough anymore. So I was having to. I told you about this. I was boiling water in like a big spaghetti, and then putting that in there. I'd do like 2 of those into the bathtub, and then fill it up the rest of the way. But now it's not getting hot enough, so I have to do that every time, and it takes a while. God. So it's a lot more of a process than it used to be.
Have you?
And I put the salts in there and stuff, you know, or I put the like the Aztec mud or whatever, the pore purifying stuff. So it's just like this, like it's like a mud bath kind of.
Oh, really?
It's not like actually like it's not thick. It's just.
I feel you.
So I'll do those. It's like more of a process now. So I've been doing it lately.
To crank up that heat, if you go down to your furnace or the water cooler, there should be a knob somewhere where you change the level of.
It's not. So it's not there. I've been down this road. It's the one it's like the threshold one that's on the inside.
Yeah.
And because this is not my plumbing and we're in a bungalow, I do not want to mess with it. So I need the guy to come back out. I think when he fixed it one time, he turned it down a little bit and messed it all up. That's what I've decided in my head. But I don't know how to talk to the person now and be like, I need somebody to come out and make it a lot hotter because I like to take a bath. I don't want to have to explain all this.
Well, so what you could say is just be like, hey, I realize like the water just it's getting lukewarm at best. You could just
I'll do it, but it's also we're in the summer, so it's not as much of a
you're not really fixing
So I don't do it as often. So it's kind of, it's fine for right now, but that's if I would try to do it like once or twice a week though otherwise.
Yeah.
It's good. It helps. It helps you loosen your whole shit up.
I hear you. I sit in the shower.
What's the word on hot tubs for you guys?
Do I like them or not?
Would you get one?
1,000%.
Yeah, 100%. There's ones from Costco.
So bad. I want it.
The inflatable ones?
Yeah, they're sick. I would love a hot tub. And I would make up for all the years that my friends' parents growing up didn't clean their hot tub and get it ready for summer. I would use it year round always.
Yeah.
This whole cold plunge thing has been going for me in my head has been going on way longer than this was a thing because I would go into if I see a hot tub, I go into it and go, how hot can it go? And then I try to sit in it for as long as humanly possible until I feel like a noodle. And then I immediately jump in like the pool that's usually next to it. And then I'll just do that front and back all day long. Yeah. That's like my dream setup for a day, to be honest with you, is just doing that all day long.
Yeah.
Well, you guys don't like them?
I love them.
Oh,
I was just
love
going to
them too.
ask.
I don't like when people are like, they're gross. You're
No,
going to say, you're going to think,
I think they're gross. Unless it's my own, like public ones, I think they're gross. People do naughty things in there, like community pools and stuff.
You wouldn't swim in a community pool? Even if it had a 16-foot deep
It's
end?
chlorine, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like the feeling of chlorine. Like at the end of the day, like your body feels gross. Like I'm not a clean individual, but I don't like public pools.
I'm not
like
a clean individual. I think that's the
Underscore.
That's the deal. Everyone just has like thresholds on
Yeah.
like certain things just like don't gross me out and other things really gross. Like I do not want to get dirty from gardening. I think that's gross to me. But like when I had to pick up dog poop, like that's gross. I'm like, it just doesn't. Who cares?
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like things like that just don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
So,
have this
I don't care.
bad habit of when I put my shoes on, I touch the bottom of my shoe.
What?
What are you getting at here?
When I throw it on, you know, like I'll go like this
Yeah.
and I'll throw it on kind of thing.
Wait, hold on.
We're talking about
I see what you're saying.
dirty things, you know. It's
You're
like
putting a shoe on like
yeah,
that?
I'll like one hand will touch the heel section, and then my other hand will touch the
you're
top of my
like
foot. Yeah.
But what are you getting at here? You're saying you don't like that the bottom of your
No,
you're
it's
touching the bottom of your
doesn't
shoe?
bother
like I don't. It doesn't bother me. No.
If
Like,
you
it's-
needed me to touch the bottom of your shoe right now, I would not care.
I would
that
do
is a
it.
thing.
I would do it happily.
I would love
Okay.
this.
Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page because I have gotten some flack for that in the past.
Well, here, as a white person, it's
Here
been
we
brought to my
go.
attention
This
that
is
it's
great.
gross that I wear shoes in the house, and
Oh, yeah.
it's just something that I've never really considered. If I'm getting ready in the morning, I will put on my shoes and like look in the mirror. But we are going to try to get a mirror closer to the door. But I will say recently it's been made very clear you don't wear shoes in the house. It just never crossed my mind.
It's my house.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever I want.
And I just feel like growing up, everyone I knew just wore their shoes in the house. I know that I
Yeah.
understand the
Okay.
logic,
Yeah.
but I've never thought about it.
If you
First of all, I don't wear shoes in the house. I don't care, and I would like put them on and wear them until until it's time to go. But like I am barefoot as soon as I get home.
yeah, for
Winter,
the
I
record-
don't wear socks at home. I think
Yeah.
that's wearing
No.
socks around the house to me grosses me out.
That's what I'm communicating though. Is
worse
I'm
to
not
me.
like wearing shoes and laying on the couch. But if it's like time for me to go, like my shoes are in our bedroom and I put them on, and if it works with the kit, then I walk out the door.
Yeah.
But I don't. They're not like stacked outside or anything.
I will not. I don't want to put shoes on display either.
I shove them in my closet
putting
and
them
have to
by
yank them out.
putting them by the like door and stuff.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying it's me. No one
Yeah.
needs to do what I do.
Yeah.
I don't care what
No,
anyone
but
does
yeah,
in their
yeah.
own free
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That's just like I don't.
But your shoes make it to your bedroom though. No,
When I get
that's
home, I
crazy.
take off my
That's
shoes
crazy.
as I come in, down to no shoes, and then I
Yeah.
do not put shoes on again unless I need to go run an errand, and that
Yeah.
includes like if I have to take the trash out in the alley or whatever, I don't wear shoes to do it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm barefoot
And,
to go
I mean,
outside and stuff.
and
Is
it's
that
this
Always
gross too?
barefoot.
This only changes if there's snow or rain on the ground. And when I take them off and then I walk them straight into my closet where I have like the little tier thing that
Yeah.
they go into, and then I put them away.
Oh no.
And all of they go because I have like multiples of every kind of shoe I have. It's just lines of the same shoe in a row. I just put them right back where they go.
Growing up, you got like a 3 foot by 3 foot threshold. You're outside of that, your foot's getting slapped, or you're getting critiqued for sure. Like my parents, my siblings, any family member would know, are you wearing shoes in the house right now? Take those off. Like no, like everybody abides by the rule.
When you go home, do you have like a little walkway that you take them off immediately?
Yeah.
Are all your shoes housed by the door?
Yeah. So like if you came to a family gathering, it's like you walk in, take your shoes off, boom, you put it to the side. It's like a parking spot. Like everyone fills it up. You go row by row, column by column. And then when you go home, you just put them on in that little area, and then you get out. But you don't wear them inside the house.
No, I think that's
Even
very
if
normal.
Even if you're grabbing something, it's like, let me walk in, take the shoes off, carry this thing inside, put it down,
Put the shoes back on.
put the shoes back on, and then back out.
Listen, for the record, I wasn't even arguing that what I do is right. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
My
That
shoes
people
just
do
went
it.
in the closet. I put them on in the room to see if it worked with the kit, and then I walk out the door. I don't even think anything of it, but it has been.
I guess we're like
Yeah.
growing up, we kind of like kept them in the garage.
Yeah, I had shoes.
You got like a
Kinda.
garage door to go inside
We
the
had
house.
garage storage for shoes.
In winter,
Yeah.
we would use our
Yeah.
garage door.
Growing
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just curious.
Yeah.
There's either shoes on or I'm barefoot though. Like that's really the only
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I have to be barefoot. I
love
cannot
it.
wear socks in the house. It feels weird to me.
Yeah, it's stressful.
It's just like sleeping with socks. I think it's a little taboo.
You ever seen that guy who says he doesn't ever wear shoes at all? He like goes to like weddings without shoes, and he's been doing this for years.
So he's just got like caveman feet.
Is that like a spiritual thing, or is it just like?
The thing is, though, I don't like that he's made a personality out of it. Yeah. But I'm kind of on board.
I'm pro.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah. But I will have shoes that I have parked by the front door, and then I have other shoes that I wear on like not special days, but days that I don't always wear those shoes.
They're maybe not your daily drivers.
So they're not the daily drivers, so I'll take them off and I'll run them upstairs. But sometimes I will do what you do, and I'll try them on in my room and then walk them downstairs. And I always get on my roommates about wearing shoes in the house kind of thing. So if they ever caught me doing that, it'd be no good.
Yeah. One thing I don't understand is like the no shoes on seems just as kind of, if you're weighing ickinesses, that feels just as icky as wearing shoes in the house. Like if I don't have shoes on around the house and I've gone inside, outside, done all these things, that seems almost grosser than the shoe being on outside and then coming
He's
inside.
saying putting your barefoot in the grass and
Like,
coming back
what's the
inside.
I go barefoot outside all the time.
For sure.
Oh no,
But why does it feel different?
Wait, what do you
Will
mean?
my skin collect less dirt?
No, it would collect more.
No, so if we went outside barefoot, then before you go in, you wash off your feet.
With what? The hose?
The hose, yeah.
Then by the time you go, you don't have a hose directly outside the door. It's not like you're.
One of our houses,
I'm not sticking it out, spraying it, and then putting it inside. So like, I feel like it's kind of like when you go to the beach and they had like you go in the shower, and then I'm like, going in the shower is going to make the sand situation so much worse because it's going to get wet and then pick everything up on the way in.
Well, I mean, so the hose was quite literally right outside the door. You wipe down your foot with the towel. It's kind of like before the dogs come back in from a wet, like you let the dogs out before they come in. It's like, hold on, stop. Get the paws, and then they come back in.
You guys had a lot of different rules than we did growing up. The dog just went in and out. I don't know what it was doing. I mean, unless it was like snow. Sometimes when it snowed and we had like a sheepdog.
It's like if you ever like came in barefoot, dirty, or shoes were dirty, and you actually brought them in, it's just straight up CSI. Like, I know that was you. That is your shoe tread. Don't say that wasn't you. I know you wore your shoes in.
Oh my god.
I was like, did you wash the dog's paws? Like, yes. Like, did you? And it'd be like, there's a paw print right there. You did not do that.
Louise. What? Will you guys have any other like weird rules like this? Like, as it pertains to these types of things? Not house rules. We don't need to go down this.
I was gonna rifle off a house rule.
Okay.
Growing up, I could not have friends in the house. I don't know if it was
You're
my
gonna air
parents.
this out knowing your mom. I'm giving you an opportunity to walk it back.
You know what? No, they let friends in the house all the time. Yeah. Okay. I'm walking that back.
Walking it back. The thing is, like, as my daughter starts to have friends, I could understand being like, not that one.
Yeah. I feel like I might have had questionable friends growing up.
Yeah,
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
You do get I have friends thinking back on it now where it'd be like, if I owned my own home, I wouldn't want that friend to come over because they're too wild.
Well, the other thing is, like, I feel like if I'm a parent one day and the house is super dirty or something like that, I would not want people in the house. Kind of thing. Maybe it's like an event that I have to prepare for. Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody here knows, like, when parents go crazy when, like, blah, blah, blah is coming over and you're like, you got to make it spotless for no reason. Like, that person literally doesn't care. But they're still like, hey, I need you to vacuum. I need you to do this, this, and that. And it's like, why are we making the house spotless? It's going to get messy in like 5 seconds.
I would let you guys see my house in any state at any time and any day because it's just truly how I live. Now, Mashan would probably not want that. She would definitely want it to be a little more organized. But I don't have any sort of thought around what my house looks like if someone's coming in because I got nothing to hide.
The thing I've been trying, because I am a little obsessive about, it's more just because if the house is all cleaned up, then I feel like my brain can take a rest.
That's
and
fair.
I can relax.
That's
You know
fair.
what I mean? So that's a lot of it for me. But I've been trying to let go of it more and more, thinking like, when I think back to the places I truly had fun living in, they were like, we lived like animals. You know what I mean? I've mentioned it before. We had a house that was hardwood floor that we would just put cigarettes out on. And it was bad. I mean, we were in college and it was me and a couple of other, but But I loved that place thinking about, and it was gross. I mean, I think there was black mold like in the bathroom, and we just were like, "No, just kind of like don't go into that area of the bathroom." And we were just like okay with it. And to be honest with you, like I liked it there. It was like it was fun and it was nice. I don't necessarily want to live there now, but like I think that like it's like a stage in life kind of thing where it's like by the time I'm old and my house can actually be perfect all day every day, I'm gonna miss Gia not absolutely destroying it every 2 minutes. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I feel like who cares, you know?
When I first moved here. The first apartment that I had my name on, it was me and my 2 buddies, one of which is Mike, the famed Mike of the flipped Jeep story, of the clam chowder and the Ziploc
Truly
bag
one
story.
of the most insane bathrooms I've ever been in my born life.
Oh, this was the house. 2 houses prior. Even.
Oh, okay.
It was a townhome technically. All I wanted to say was, in regards to the shit just being how it was, I had a bunch of buddies in from Cleveland. They were coming into town. We were going to go to Red Rocks, go to a show, and then we were going to go camping. My shower wasn't draining. So by 2-3 minutes in, the water was up to the middle of your shins. And I just didn't think anything of it because that was just how the shower was. I was like, you know what I mean? I didn't think like, well, this needs to be different because I have guests. My thought was like, hey, this is where I live, and this is kind of what I'm dealing with, so it's what you're dealing with too. It didn't even cross my mind as being strange. I then went and got some Drano and fixed the problem, and that was it. But it was like, it didn't even cross my mind. I'm showing my whole ass here. Everybody's going to hate me after this, but I didn't even cross my mind. Just
there, you know, there's things that, I don't know if you guys have other ones, but there's things like that where I remember when I first got a food disposal, because we didn't have one growing up, or at least I was not aware of it. We just started we just thought like any food that could fit in there, that's where it was supposed to go. It was like a first apartment ever, and we destroyed it. I mean, it like
chicken bones.
The guy came to fix it. Was like, "What is in here?" And I'm like, "I don't know. We just moved in recently. Might have been somebody else." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. You like this? Just so you know, like all this stuff can't." He's like, "You've been just throwing like extra rice down here. There's like tons of it." And we were like, "Oh, I don't know, man. I just thought it was cool." So, I think there's things you just don't know until you start like living life, and that's like, you know.
Where does garbage disposal stuff go?
I thought about this before, and I don't know either.
Kind of thing, because one time I put a whole ass onion in the garbage disposal.
Just like plunked it down there.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I wasn't thinking in it. It was fine.
I mean, dude, to freshen it up, if you put a bunch of shit down there, you can cut a lime in half and run each half of the lime through, and it just completely negates the smell and makes it brand new.
You want to make sure everything's kind of working okay, because if yours is temperamental and it starts rocking around, you're gonna blow your.
Yeah, but I mean, Al, just so you know, because a couple weeks ago ours was clogged and stopped working. Something I did fixed it, but underneath there's like a drum that has a motor in it that you can reset. And exactly, you got to take the Allen wrench and manually run it. And eventually something happened and it ended up working again. But that's a good question because it's not, I'm never emptying a filter, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like
where does it go? You know?
Spins out the rest of the time. What do you guys think? Let's switch gears here a little bit into, since we have a group, we'll talk fashion for a little while instead of just exclusively talking about weird stuff we did when we were younger, which is basically what half the podcast is about anyway. But do you guys see any what about this? Either trends that you like happening right now or trends that like need to go? We've always said we wanted to have a trends that need to go thing. It was a segment called Call the Fucking Cops. That's just like, you got to get rid of it.
By the way, that phrase started because you and I both think it's funny when someone says, "I'm going to call the cops," and then the person responds, "Call the fucking cops."
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's really funny. So
doubling down on who's going to call the cops.
Do it. Call them. I don't have an opinion right off the bat.
I mean, it's not going to be like, you guys aren't going to be surprised, but obviously I'm loving the Western trend. And for me, though, I'm loving the Western trend. It's at a peak, and a lot of people are on board right now. And I don't think it'll last forever, but I plan on being in Colorado for as long as possible. So no matter what, I'm still going to use it.
Yeah, it's working on it.
Like it's like, okay,
it's
valid here.
What about that aesthetic like resonates with you specifically? Is it just so far away from, like, because you're from the East Coast? It's not like you didn't, like, and none of us are from Colorado originally, so it's not like.
I would say it's going to be really funny and super random, but, like, ever since I moved to Gun Barrel, I'm pretty much at the edge of, all right, one side's a city and the other side is a bunch of farmlands. It's just a more peaceful lifestyle. Like, I want to throw on a pair of jeans and boots and just go walk those farm roads, even though I'm not working it. but it just like
Can you do that? Can you just walk around on those roads?
On some of them, not all of them. Some like the ones where you see private signs, but there's a lot of trails that cut through all the farm roads, and you could just walk them at any point. And so like I don't know. I think that lifestyle is just peaceful, and as things are slowing down a little bit, or like everyone's trying to slow down as everything's going like uber fast, and it's like everyone's being more cognizant of like what they do with their time. Like I kind of like that Western feel of like I'm walking a dirt road. There's some rattlesnakes around here.
There are rattlesnakes here.
On some windy days, you see tumbleweeds roll across, and it's like, yeah, I live out in the West.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, you guys know I'm on that trend too because it is trending. And
well,
it
is funny that like that has really that aesthetic. I mean, look, that has come and gone a number of times. Obviously, like every trend basically that's ever come and gone. It's just new generations experiencing it for the first time and then flipping it however they flip it. But at the same time, it's like that is one that comes back regularly. And what's interesting is this time it seems to have like hit like the younger generation in a unique way. And I'm sure it's like, the popularity of like a Zach Bryan or whatever it is. Yeah. But like, that is a strange thing to hit youth culture. Cause I went to the ice cream shop last night with Gia, and there's these like two like younger kids that were wearing, like V-Lone sweatpants and like dunks, and then had a Zach Bryan shirt on. And you're like, and then the one girl had like a kind of a cowboy hat thing going on. And I understand that's a little bit where we're from, but also like, how did that person make that leap from like A$AP Rocky to this? You know what I mean? But it's interesting that it's like permeated that culture, because it seems like those two things are just so far apart that,
Yeah, and I feel like, would you say with Beyonce, Pharrell, and what they've done, do you think that's permeating deeper down to the younger levels? Because I feel like it's
just in the zeitgeist maybe in that way. I mean, I didn't think about the Beyonce record, but you're right. I mean, her doing that thing, regardless if you liked it or not, it definitely has an impact whether you like it or not. So I don't know. Maybe that's it. I mean, this was definitely also kind of like going on in New York, like heavy, like in whatever way it happens there, it happens at the very like, chic level, and that's great. And then it gets opened up broader and broader and broader. But that was definitely going on a little bit. Like, I think like even like a year into the pandemic, it felt like when New York started to come back, there was a lot of like that kind of like Western-y type of stuff happening. Nothing like specific, but like Western shirts and tighter jeans suddenly, back to that, boots of some kind, just like that kind of thing. I mean, we kind of, I saw it as like, oh, the workwear trend is going to kind of come back. This is like all kind of, this just happens within menswear specifically. It's not, there's not that many inspirations to draw from with menswear. So I feel like it gets like stuck. But it is strange that this is now like, it feels way broader than that. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe it's just also like somebody tried to freak it and make it their own, which I think is cool. Yeah. And over time, this is just like, it's like hit young people in this interesting way because it's gotten it's so much broader. And
I do think, because I thought about it the other day, I don't know if you saw that video that like MGK did a country cover. Yeah. And people were like, half the people were like, what the hell does he think he's doing? And then the other half is like, that was actually pretty good. Like, and even Dua Lipa doing on stage with Chris Stapleton, like, I think now more so than ever, people are more like, oh, country doesn't have to be a certain thing. Like, I think before, like, country had to be like a Nashville specific thing. And like now there's Shabuzi, Dua Lipa doing that, MGK, Zach Bryan's doing something different. Taylor Swift's technically country, but it's pop.
You kind of have two things maybe happening. One, it could be more superficial and just be like an industry thing, and like obviously outside of like, hip hop and everything, which is quite frankly gotten a little stale as far as like popular music goes. You know what I mean, in that genre. So it's going to go somewhere else. So like, where do we go and keep making a lot of money? It's like country's making a lot of money with specific groups, like broader groups. Maybe if we just combine all this stuff or kind of start finding like commonalities or collaborations, kind of like any other brand, you know what I mean? Like half of collaborations exist to like make one brand more, more relevant or whatever it is, or perceived a different way. It could just be a little bit of that, or it could be that like, from Instagram, all these things, everyone wants everything to be more like authentic, and country is known for being very like authentic and like a little more gritty and stuff. So maybe that's like I don't know, maybe it's a little bit of...
Yeah, but that's a trend that I'm here for. Yeah. For the long ride.
Yeah. I remember growing up, people super hated on country stuff. What do you think it is that makes people like it more, you know?
Now?
Is it just, nowadays? Is it just people evolving?
It probably just went
thing?
away for a long enough time that it gets flipped. I mean, that's the thing with, and you can't, you want to be like, oh man, I would never wear skinny jeans again. We can all say that and we can all believe it. And like every single time with fashion, 10 years from now, somebody starts doing it in a slightly different way. And then we're all like, well, I could try it. And then you try it. And we've talked about it on here before. It's like, you get far enough away from anything and it just, the perception flips, or like somebody does it in an interesting way that like makes you change your mind on it in some way, or like start looking at it in a different way.
Because I would say before all this, I don't know the timeline by any means, but like before, country used to be a very specific, like, that's not country. People say Taylor Swift's not country because it's pop now, but like I think they have opened the doors to like, it's kind of like EDM. There's so many different subcategories of EDM where it's like, if somebody says I don't like EDM, it's like, well, which part? You can't necessarily not like EDM as a whole because that encompasses so much.
I think it also comes with the lack of understanding the full, genre of it. You can say I hate country, and like, well, you might hate a lot of what people hate is popular country. Even when people say I don't like hip hop or rap or whatever, you're probably just talking about like popular versions, not like the more unique stuff. I you know what I mean? Same thing with country, same thing with EDM. All of those are so deep and like rooted in all this other shit.
I mean, I guess
there's just no way to. I mean, nobody knows it all, and the handful of people that do it have dedicated their life to it and then found what they liked. But I'm sure that they're not the ones going like, I don't know, that Skrillex is their favorite or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like it's something more obtuse. Or
it's kind of like the same thing of like OG hip hop listeners are like hip hop now, like they're talking about nonsense sometimes versus before they actually had things to rap about and sing about, and like the lyrics meant more, but some exactly.
I don't know, bro.
I mean, it's like anything gets like you get far enough away and people don't know the history, so it gets recontextualized because you only tell the parts you liked. And sure, Nas's Illmatic is one thing, but there was a lot of like goofy shit too back then. You know what I mean? And the same thing goes for like I think the same thing has happened. Like everyone lumped, kind of the post, rock era of like nu metal or something into like one category as like all these bands are counted as that, and it all sucks. And you're like, fair. I bet 90% sucks. But there was like bands in there that were doing like an interesting thing and changing the genre in some way and doing something interesting. It just all gets like lumped into one category all the time. And then people forget. And then one person comes out of the woodwork and says, I think this is cool again because of X, Y, or reason. And then that's the only things people know. So then they take that information and then recontextualize it again. It's just like how people want to remember information. You know what I'm saying? So it's you could like take that argument whatever way you want. Really. Yeah. But it is an interesting trend. I mean, and I think there's a lot of people doing. I mean, like Why the Thing is a really great example of doing like a modern approach to like Western wear that feels a little bit more like, I don't know. It's just it's put through the lens of like how you'd wear it now, how normal people would wear it now, and still like be authentic in it and everything without you needing to put on a costume necessarily.
You can get a Western shirt from Wythe, Orslo, or Legacy, Lemaire.
Yeah, it's classic.
Just like four quick ones, but like literally almost every brand we carry makes a Western, whether they're a Western or even Americana brand in general.
Boot, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's just their version.
Almost bought that, by the way.
They're nice.
Yeah.
What do you got? You got any?
I don't have any harsh opinions, or I'm about to drop a harsh opinion, but I don't. People can do whatever they want, and I think when they turn it into their own thing, it's an awesome thing. But I will tell you what I will not wear myself, and that is a Boston. I can't do it.
You really came out fucking swinging in this room.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, me, myself, personally.
Why? What is it about it that just...
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Are you associating it with like a type of person, or is it the way it feels, like personally, or like what is it about?
I like the way it looks, and I like when people wear them, kind of thing. But there's something about having shoes that I can't
secure,
let go of.
Yeah, it's like
there's a running theme.
They need to be like attached to my foot. If I'm ever running from something or someone,
this is the second time that
I'll have to be able to run. So like,
what are you preparing for?
I have no idea. But Wade Lewis actually, he always talks about how he's getting better at running in Boston's. So there's something there.
He's always
But-
talking about that.
You'd assume it would like improve your like calves because you got to do a little bit of like work to make sure it
It's
stays
the
on.
toes are kind
Yeah.
of working to push it down to push it
Uh-huh.
up almost. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I just don't want to focus on that all the time. That's why I don't wear the thong sandals all the time. I have a pair of rainbows that I've had since 7th grade, and they still fit.
Mm-hmm.
Those are tight. You wore in that kit that I like. I thought that was cool.
They're super comfortable, but if I'm ever not taking out trash or walking down the street, I will throw on regular shoes.
What about this? Where is, because I was just thinking like one of the reasons I like a sandal or anything like that is like that's my hippie space. That's the space where I'll play around a little bit with weird stuff is like
Yeah.
shoes, really.
Yeah.
Anything else is like just classic stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's my, that and like sunglasses are the places I'll play around. Do you guys
Yeah.
have like specific categories of clothing where it's like that's where I'll do a little bit of playing, or I feel like I have got a little bit of latitude? Like maybe like not changing my pants, I wear this kind of pant, but I will do a lot of different things with X, Y, or Z. Like Chris, you could maybe go first in that. Like I've seen you'll play with jewelry.
Yes.
You're a
Yeah.
jewelry guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've always got
The rings are new, by the way. The rings were not a thing of that Chris did
This is
until very
ring,
recently.
but I've seen you go rings, watches. I've seen bracelets be a thing, necklaces be a thing. You've been down the
Bandanas,
road.
yeah.
Bandanas, yeah.
You're an accessorizer.
Yeah.
So that's like, is that your lane of like play? I mean, you experiment maybe more than any of us, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. But
Dude, like a lot of people have asked us, like, Chris, I've seen your style change a lot. So like, what is your style? And I'm like, I
you
don't
like
know.
fashion.
It's
There
like-
isn't
it's like-
there
it's
isn't
like
one
flux.
thing.
Is
Catch
what it
me
is.
on a Tuesday and I might be wearing something gorpy. Catch me on Friday, I might be wearing something cowboy. Like,
See, I'm pro
Yeah.
this because I just think it's so silly to get like
Yeah.
that anyone wants it to be a certain thing. Like, well, what is your style really? It's like, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Whatever it wants to be, I'll fucking
like
drip no matter
honestly,
what.
in my head,
I'm
you
trying to-
guys know that like that real video is like choose your fighter.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm not gonna lie. Before I wake up, I'm like,
Which
who
one?
do I want to be today?
That's what's fun about
Yeah,
it, I think,
yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest with you. Like, it's not, I mean, I think the more you're willing to have fun there, the more fun you'll have. I've boxed myself in at this point, probably
Yeah.
more than I need to.
I was
But
going to
it's
say,
just
I
like-
don't do any sort of fun experimenting. I know what I like, and I don't really have anything that is too outside the box.
You
at
wear
this
a
point.
burro jacket. What are you talking about? That's like a
That-
like a
okay,
wild.
in terms of aesthetics, it might be the loudest thing in my closet, but it's just a regular fucking zip jacket.
Anybody that sees you walking down the road does not think that is a normal jacket. Is all I'm saying.
Well,
You've
I do.
contextualized yourself in like this like small community or like at this store, which like none of us like. I don't see that as something.
That's
crazy.
something crazy, yeah.
But that's
but you're
certainly
right.
wild.
I think
for,
you're
like,
right.
Gen pop.
Outside of the bubble that we exist in, because again, I hang out with y'all, and then the track record lately, I hang out with him and Abby and Gia on the weekend. And then I hang out with Cooper and Rye, and obviously Michelle. So my circle is small, and everybody
those two
here
fellas
exists
dress
in this
wild
world.
too.
Yeah.
So it's, you know,
Everyone that I interact with daily in person
like into it.
is in this world in some way. And then most of my friends online at this point, like the Discord crew, they're in this world. And then even like a couple homies that I keep in touch with back home are also generally indoctrinated into this world and understand it to some regard too. So I think you're right. I am a little skewed in my thinking. I guess a Boro jacket is fucking crazy.
I would say
aesthetically,
that
but-
it's not really. I just use that as an example, but I think it's like pants for you. You only do one color, but you're wearing some like
The
different
silhouette
types
changes.
of silhouettes and fits.
I'm
and
wearing
stuff.
purple label, pretty baggy cropped field pants today. Yesterday I wore EG green fatigues that were cropped and a little slimmer. Yeah, and then tomorrow I'll probably wear green pants in another treatment.
But
you
you'll
know?
do shorts. You'll play around.
Yeah, I
with,
will.
with pants.
Yeah, pants are
More than
probably
anything
it.
else.
Yeah, the rest of it is pretty
You've
straight
had
up.
FA pants. I mean, this is a lot of different types
Yeah.
of wild. I mean, again, FA pants alone would be enough to be like, I think you're doing something unusual
That's fair.
there.
Pants
you
are
know?
probably my answer then. Yeah, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
What about you, Alec? You got a place that you like? I feel like shirts.
I don't know.
You're
I was
doing a lot
gonna
of
just
different-
say
yeah.
a lot of different shirts.
Shirts
but
and also Al color, I think.
Oh
I think
yeah,
you're
yeah,
into color.
that's fair.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, there's something there. I have those Capital patchwork jeans. They're like bright green pants kind of thing.
But you wear them a
But-
lot, and that's like something that if I bought, I feel like I would not. It would be like an every now and then thing. Which
Yeah.
I think that sucks. My version of it sucks. Wearing it like regularly is cool.
Just rocking
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm really into elevated classic stuff. Like I'm wearing this Capital shirt right now, but it's like there's crazy patterns on it kind of thing with the
But it's
stitching and
tonally,
stuff
you
like
wouldn't know
that.
unless
But
you just-
tonally, it's just
Yeah.
like a regular shirt kind of thing. And as far as experimenting goes, it's got to be with tops.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun. I mean, just whatever's in my comfort zone, I guess,
What's
and
like
whatever I can
something-
swing.
Fair.
Yeah.
What's like something you wish you could pull but don't think you can?
V-neck. For sure a V-neck. I can't.
You want to be able to, but it's just not there.
Yo.
Yeah.
I wish I was a ring guy. I just got a ring, and I love it. It is awesome, but I don't think I'm a ring guy. I don't like stuff on my hands, I guess. But that's something that I wish I was, you know?
My sweat would disintegrate 925 silver, no problem.
Oh my gosh.
It just it melts.
It just wouldn't be there one day.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of hats beyond polo dad caps. I can't. I struggle with.
You've tried, yeah.
I try different things, but it just, I don't know.
You try one of these bad boys? I feel like you could rock one of these.
He ain't wearing something that says James Dean Death.
But my problem is I don't know that I can do a trucker kind of style. I could try. I guess I've never tried, to be fair, but I don't know. Nothing.
That's what I like about this crown. This crown is good.
But you have a lot of different hats you'll wear. I think that's cool. You can really change out the aesthetic.
I thought about it. Mathematically, I think I could wear different outfits for 2 years.
If you
shoes,
could not,
hats, tops.
No one in
pants.
this room, and I've been into fashion a long time. Nobody that I know outside of Bob has the collections like you do.
Yeah, it's bad. I know.
You're a full-blown addict.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is an intervention.
Yeah. It's happening.
Strap
It's
in.
happening.
What about you? You got something that?
No.
Actually, on topic from what we talked about.
I don't. Maybe I'd like to be a bucket hat guy. I think bucket hat looks cool on people.
You
but
could totally do a purple label bucket hat.
I've tried multiple different silhouettes. I got a couple in the house right now. I haven't figured it out. I like it on other people, but that might be one area that I wish I could rock it and feel comfortable. But also, I'm fine to not do. Yeah, I don't feel any.
Based off the topic we talked about on that last one that I was on, I wish I could do loafers. But I don't think I can. For me, I've tried the Henderscheme ones. I've tried a few different options, but I think I visually need laces, or else my foot feels like an alien. And I think without laces and just being having a smooth top, even if it's a small detail, my feet are already small. I think it makes it look extra small, like you said.
I would agree with
little
you.
hooves.
Little hooves, little baby goat feet.
Yeah,
it's a complicated thing because I see it sometimes and I think, oh, that looks great. And I wear Gucci loafers when I dress up more because I like the feel of them. They're very comfortable, but they're calfskin, and I buy them used. I like them beat up a little bit, so they're just not fussy at all. In that scenario, I like them okay. Plus, that's a slightly wider overall base, and it's not so it doesn't have quite that weird stance, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I struggle with it too. I mean, that's the only pair I have, and I've tried plenty of others.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
This new trend of loafers where it's a tiny sole and they're squeezed on people's feet. I've said this before. It makes them look like Pixar characters. It makes people look like, if you're not a sleek, slender, sexy model guy, you look like a Pixar character in these tiny little shoes. Is it what's the Pixar movie with the family they're all superheroes, all dressed in red? Yeah, it looks like the dad from Incredibles. Shaped like this, little tiny feet, comes down to a point. So
I like his build though.
He's got a good physique though.
He's looking tight.
He can run fast.
It looks like he can run.
He can really get away from danger if he needs to. No problem. You won't catch that man in a fucking pair of Birkenstocks.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think that it's it's a tough thing, the shoe shape. I think you get so used to something in your head, and half of it's just you're in your head about it.
100%.
But there are also sometimes where I see things and I'm like, oh God, I just don't the whole fit's kind of dicked now because the foot looks strange.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Along those lines, we talked about this before, but foam posits. I really wish I could wear those.
Dude, I wanted those when I was younger too, and I thought those rule. They just are so
what is that?
cool.
Nike foam posits. Yeah. It's this very specific
you'd know it when you saw it. Here, I can bring it up for you and get your live reaction to a foam posit. But it's it's a crazy. First of all, that's a shoe where I think you need to be a 12 or above to pull it off.
100%.
You can't go small in that, or it's or it looks like a moon boot.
Yeah.
Foam
golf weight or fishing waders on.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not a moon boot.
No.
Oh.
Foams, bro.
Oh yeah.
Foams.
No, that's so true. You gotta be a size 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shoe that is catered to, but for example, a penny loafer on a 13 is a something else to see. You know what I mean? That's a lot of shoe. So I get that it's it just depends. I think that Shoes feel more subjective than anything else. Like it's like it might look fine on you, but like it's a feel thing because you're also looking at it as such a different.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't see it how other people see it on you.
Exactly. Yeah. I wonder what else is like that you wear, where it's like the way I looks fine, but the way I feels crazy. Like I feel like those two. I think probably goes the opposite way too, where like I felt good in it, but you look back and you're like that is not the right length for those pants to be or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
There's something there with skinny jeans because I think they look good, but they don't feel good to me. Yeah. I don't like it. It's hugging all your stuff, all your your thighs.
It's been a long time since I've had them on, but I certainly wore like tight jeans at one point.
Black 511s from the outlet for years.
You did?
Yeah, fuck
I need to see pictures of that.
Bro,
you in skinny jeans? I need to see
black
that.
511s and black and white Roche runs. And a band tee for
you
years.
Still, I mean,
Chris.
even when I met you, you still had it was a thin jean that you were
thinner
wearing.
band.
511s with Roche Run Nikes?
Yeah, bro.
I need
keep in mind,
to see this.
I was petite. I was fucking 19. You know what I mean? But
that was sort of like a Tumblr uniform. At
yeah,
one point,
I need to see photos of that.
Yeah,
But it's funny that you brought that up. I think that's been trending around. Everyone's like, okay, we had that conversation of what trends have you been seeing, whatever. But everybody, without a doubt, goes, we hope skinny jeans never come back. And we don't want to see that.
Like I say, I mean, but everyone from the 80s is going around like with us wearing big pants again and being like, I can't believe they're doing that again.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
true.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it's just, with enough time, it all comes back. You just say you don't like it because the trend got so extreme that it was like, I cannot look at it anymore.
Yeah.
And then as soon as people forget about it, it comes back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have a dress shirt and I'll try it on and I'll have like the black 105s and I will want to switch to skinny jeans because I feel like the silhouette looks better on me.
I see what you mean. When you get like a more tailored top.
When you get a more tailored top, you want it like tighter on the bottom. Otherwise, it feels a little lopsided, even though that's probably not the case. But yeah, I used to wear 107s all the time. That was like I just switched off of skinny jeans like this year. I feel like.
I still think a lot of people are still making that transition. Look, I don't think a 107 to a 105 is like a huge transition.
No, I see where it goes. Yeah,
that's tailored to straight. That's not like you know what I mean. It's not a
it's not a huge jump.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not like 511s to
North Face purple label.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big baggy.
And before I came to you guys, I was always wearing slim, skinny type pants. And it's like, and then remember the first pant you tried to convince me into, that Orslo Navy.
Is it the black?
The U.S.
Navy pant, yeah.
Navy pant.
Had a little Orslo
I was
on
like,
the back.
I don't know what to do with all this leg room. But now I'm like, anything
You wear
less.
those all the time.
It's like, I feel uncomfortable in anything like skinnier than that.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right, let's we gotta wrap it up so everyone can go home. But we'll do a hot take. Best ice cream treat that exists. It can be a pint of ice cream. It can be, like a dilly bar. It can be whatever you want it to be. But it just has to be what you believe is, top of the pops.
Right now, what I'm really yearning for is Korean pear Tank Boy. Just a nice frozen treat.
Well, hold on. But that's not, you think that's the best that exists? Or that's just what you'd like to try?
I haven't had it in a while. H Mart doesn't stock it anymore by me, so maybe
He sounds upset.
I would say realistically, a Buster Bar from Dairy Queen right now would be the number one spot for a sweet treat. Yeah.
Okay. Damn. I gotta think about this one.
I got one.
Okay.
Cereal flavored ice creams.
Yeah?
They have a Captain Crunch Berries at Sweet Cow.
Ooh. Have you had, Milk Bar of David Chang fame? Like
I know
milk?
of it. Yeah. Oh, Milk Bar. Yeah,
milk.
yeah.
Like the at Target and shit they sell it in Whole Foods.
Uh-huh.
You should try their ice cream. Alec, you're not
Sorry.
milk.
It just went over my head. Yeah, I think I've tried
There's
it before.
really good flavors of that ice cream.
Yeah, but cereal flavored ice creams, candy flavored ice creams. There's a Nerds flavor also at Sweet Cow, and I think it's delicious.
Damn.
So it's like a creamy sweet and a sugary sweet?
I guess, yeah.
Interesting.
I might put at the top of mine now that you said it. I think they're just called creamies. They're just like a straight ice. It's like an ice cream bar. You know what I mean? And it's called a creamy, and they have a banana one. The banana creamy is
interesting.
I really love it. I think it's the best.
Here's my thought process right now. We got a couple of things. You guys already saw me house down all those Otter Pops.
Tell me,
Flavor
how
Ice.
is Dylan's burger?
Like, I've probably had 60 of them in the last week. There's Flavor Ices up there.
I saw you eat 2 at once. In fact, it was orange and purple, which was crazy too.
That was just like somebody's got to do the bottom. But Butterfinger Blizzard hits every time. Ray, real quick, what's the rules and regulations on sponsored ads or not sponsored ads? It doesn't.
I don't give a shit what you do.
Glacier Ice Cream, local spot in town. Salted caramel Oreo.
Do they sponsor you?
No, but
What are you talking about?
but if we can get that, if they somehow listen
We've
to this,
said a million times
Yeah.
we're willing to do basically whatever. So.
Yeah.
So Glacier is the local spot here. Salted caramel Oreo is one of the best flavors, but I'm still trying to narrow it down. That and then just what I've been craving recently is a classic Good Humor strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, dude. Fuck.
But-
Would that be your choice if the ice cream man pulls up?
Oh no! Ice Cream Man pulls up. It's the Ninja Turtles with the gummy eyeballs.
yeah, dog.
100%.
That was Sonic,
SpongeBob
SpongeBob.
one.
Taste good.
Yeah, but
they do.
no,
Oh,
they-
they
it's
do.
Don't.
that
It's
is-
the vibe.
Yeah.
It might
There's
not
no
be
way.
the flavor.
I feel like it's like if you haven't had it in eons and then you get it, you would be like, oh no.
Oh, melted ass SpongeBob.
Yeah.
The strawberry shortcake really is a stellar treat. And in fact, somebody in the Discord recommended the Korean version of those, and it's chocolate. It has like strawberry filling in it,
Oh
and I got
my
those from H Mart, and
God.
they were really good.
Oh.
The Korean version of that just fucking slaps.
What's the one that's like a cone with it's got chocolate on the outside and peanuts on the top?
Oh, just the drumstick.
I like a drumstick.
Is that the
I feel
brand?
like-
Yeah,
just
but did you see the videos
Nestle?
about drumstick recently?
No.
They melt it and it just becomes a gelatinous thing. It doesn't melt.
I mean, that makes sense. When you eat that cone, it tastes like
Artificial.
The texture is strange.
Yeah,
It doesn't melt to a liquid.
yeah. Like, it becomes like a gelatinous thing.
Well, you got those good snacks that are basically the end of the bar. You know, at the end of the cone, how it's
Timbo,
just
you had
fudge in the
one of
bottom. You
those,
know what I'm saying?
just the
Yeah.
I
mini
told you to
cones.
get out of my office.
Yeah, yeah. All right, with all those options, honestly, Glacier, if you're listening,
They're not.
but we'll figure out a way. We'll take a few pints of the salted caramel Oreo.
Tell them to get us a gang of ice cream, and
Yeah.
then we'll try it on the pod and review it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all
Chris,
right. I
you
can make
should
that happen.
start doing this.
I can make that happen. Yeah,
Great.
done. Okay.
And Chris, if it's something,
But if you guys haven't had it, you should definitely.
I've
try
had
it.
Glacier. Never that. I would
I don't know
never
if I've had
get
it.
salted ice cream because I'm not a pervert.
No.
But,
okay. God damn.
But he wants the Korean. You know.
The salted caramel at Glacier tastes just like cookies and cream to me.
Yeah, but
I don't get the.
But with
caramel.
there's a little bit of salt in there, then the caramel in there. It's cookies and cream elevated.
I mean, it's delicious.
It's
for
so
sure.
good. I think the one that you got though was with the day it kind of melted by the time
Yeah,
you got here.
yeah.
No, you gotta get it fresh from the actual big bin, not the cart.
Glacier is 2 minutes away from my house,
Oh, it's right across the street.
so
yeah.
maybe I do that.
There's a
tonight.
Pizza Hut over
Yeah.
there too,
But,
huh? Or no?
gonna
There's a
dox
wing
himself.
stop too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wingstop, too.
There's also the
Really
sex
doc.
shop. We can get some sponsorships there. Review some
I don't
products.
care. I'll review it. Sometimes it's helpful to have something to talk about. So,
Try on haul.
Then
okay,
we're gonna
one
really
last
find out who the
one.
freaks are.
If you're getting a milkshake and you only have the choices between vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, what do you get?
Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
I think I do strawberry too, but vanilla's a good option.
I feel like that's a good way to tell how good a milkshake is.
Yeah,
Or a milkshake
then it's
joint.
underrated. It's a
Yeah.
nice. I like it when it kind of doesn't taste like super sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Just tastes like cream.
Speaking of Costco King, have you guys had all their soft serve options?
No.
They got strawberry, they got chocolate. Like their soft serve, it's like $1 for a giant cup. It's how Mickey D's used to be.
Oh, you mean like at the end?
Yeah, in the cafeteria.
No, I just
it
get
is.
that freaky ass. What's that one that's like a not passion fruit or something? It's
Oh, the
like,
chicken bake.
No,
not the chicken
what?
bake.
No,
You
you're
you
talking-
are
you're
a
talking
chicken
about just-
bake come to life.
Just
That
talking
is
about
the
fruit
food you'd be
smoothie?
if you turn into a
fruit smoothie they took
when
away.
you die and are reborn.
Oh, they did.
Chicken
They
bake.
did take that away. Fuck. Because
Yeah.
what did they add? Just strawberry smoothie, right?
Yeah.
It was one of the smoothie ones.
It was just one of the fruit smoothies. That shit was
good.
it was good.
There was that bright purple one. It was
Yeah.
so
That
good.
one was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that growing up. My mom would get me one,
But they're soft
put it in a
serve.
little Dixie cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I would get, and it was something.
It is something. Okay, do we have anything to do to wrap up? Is there anything going on that we need to shout out? New stuff online. This will come out on Thursday, so I don't think we'll have anything new, but Orslow's in
sales running,
in
guys. Group 1 is at 30. Group 2 is close behind. I don't think we're doing it at the end of this week. Probably soon to follow. That is about it. Nothing new has come in since we last plugged. Matt at Len is going online.
That's not true. We got a couple Hokas on there. We got
Hokas, Matt at Len, IC Mags.
Yeah, a couple Matt at Len's. You mentioned that.
We talked about the big water restock.
Massive water restock. I plugged that to the Discord recently. But if you're not in the Discord, we've got all the everything water offered. We restock. So it's back in a big way. So if you've been looking for that natural Mystic body wash or whatever it is, snatch it up. That would actually be a recommendation of mine. It's really good.
Real quick on that pro tip from the storefront: if you already have the car tag or a room tag, keep it. What you got to do is get the bottle of room spray and recharge it. Just spray the hell out of it.
That's so smart.
So then you don't have to just throw out the tags.
I keep it just because I like how it looks, but I dig that.
I like in my room tag. I've had Barney since the first one I got, and I just keep on getting the room sprays to refill it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that's smart.
I'm gonna do that.
Little trick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do this again sometime soon where we have everyone in. We've been meaning to do it.
Yeah, this is fun.
It's worked out, but okay.
We're probably a little more unhinged than usual. It's a little less structured, a little more
fun Thursday one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can talk to all of us on Discord, or you can call Chris at the store and bother him. And you can get a hold of us pretty much however you want to.
Yeah.
And follow us on YouTube if you want to see more. I mean, these boys are on that. We're on that.
Yeah.
You know. Sign
Where
up for
did these
Patreon.
video ones go? To YouTube?
YouTube,
as well?
yeah.
It goes to all the
YouTube
platforms?
and
It just goes where the
Spotify,
podcasts are
the whole,
uploaded because
like,
Spotify they can take video.
So it's like everything.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you know where to get us, so you can get us wherever.
Yep. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.